What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I got a treat for you. I got SaudiBay, a huge part of the Lucid community on Twitter. So SaudiBay, I appreciate you joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. And this will be my first sort of chat or interview through YouTube.
No, you are a man of great knowledge. I've used a lot of your content many times in the past. You seem to know exactly what's happening behind the scenes, and it's very knowledgeable.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you see it this way.
Oh, most definitely. So for those of you that don't know SaudiBay, do you mind giving a quick introduction, kind of what drew you to Lucid, and just a little bit about yourself?
Sure thing. So my name is Sultan, so that everyone is clear about that. So I started paying attention to the whole stock market, actually, and specifically Lucid, when the pandemic started. You know, I had a lot of free time to spend online and search about things, savings as well. So I started looking into companies, and Saudi Arabia Vision 2030 as well came up and became very interesting to most people in Saudi and the globe as well. And Lucid was one of the companies I was looking into because it has this unique features, special technology, and I think it is the missing part that in the Saudi market that we don't have, like an automotive industry or a company in the automotive industry. So we thought that this is the closest we got to a company that has a company that has a Saudi investment in it, an automotive industry. So I started investing in 2022, I think, between the $20 and $25 when it was at that time. So from there, I think I became, I started being interested in joining communities from social media and following you specifically. You are a pinnacle in this. You are quite an interesting guy to follow. So right. So
Sometimes.
yeah. So I think most of my history comes after that. Everyone knows it's public mostly, but I've been adding since that day.
One aspect that you don't have to say exactly where you live, but what general region in Saudi Arabia do you live?
So I live in the capital city, Riyadh, the closest, and I live very close actually to the Lucid showroom. So it's 10 minutes driving.
Have you been there?
I've been there a couple of times.
Are you allowed to kind of speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So it's just a showroom, nothing special. I've been there as a customer, nothing more, not more than that. So nothing special. So yeah, it's a nice showroom. It's very big. Nearby, very luxurious brands of cars, Audi, I think, and some, I don't know, supercars I'm not aware of as well. So yeah.
Have you, like, in Saudi Arabia, have you seen a lot of advertising, or is there like just a lot of word of mouth discussion about like Lucid there?
So Lucid by themselves in Saudi, they present themselves in social media, as everyone know, and from what I've seen, right? And this is and let me take two steps back and say this is not a financial advice. Anything that comes from me is not a financial advice. Do not buy or sell based on what happens today. So
exactly.
They present, yeah, sure. So they present themselves on social media. They tend to go to. They do not have what's they call street advertising. What's that board? My language is. They have street advertising like
billboards, yeah.
Billboards, yes, billboards. I never seen it, so I don't know if it's there. But everyone knows about them, mostly who are interested in technology or Lucid or what the PIF is doing, or the young generation. So they know about it, I think, from my interaction with other people.
One thing that actually, you being in that region, that's I know initially, I think Lucid maybe wasn't really working on ESS because there was no infrastructure, whether it be in Saudi Arabia or more so the States. But there's been a lot of news about, and plus I think Faisal Sultan did an interview last year, I think it was, where he kind of mentioned that in Saudi, they're building the infrastructure for ESS and more charging stations and everything. Do you see that kind of more around still, or is that still?
Honestly, I think they based on their statement, they are not interested anymore in the short period, at least, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping for them to get involved before major companies like Aqua Power in Saudi or other solar energy companies to get involved with other companies than Lucid. But I think so it's already started. Those big companies having agreements with different, suppliers of technology. And I think they looked for how ready is Lucid, and they are not ready yet. That's the main reason, I think. That's my belief, at least. So I don't see how they might get involved in the future, but I hope so. I hope so, really, I hope.
I actually use your roadmap, like the PIF umbrella. I love that map. Like, that's so easy to follow. Do you see, like, I guess out of nowhere, people have just started talking about McLaren. Is there something that rumors or anything about McLaren and Lucid being concrete, or did I miss something?
I noticed that people start talking, and yourself as well, McLaren relation. So they are involved with the Saudi Aramco, if I'm not wrong, somehow. Yeah. And they are also involved with the new city, which is NEOM, the Giga project in the north of Saudi Arabia, northwest. Yeah. But they don't have any actual. I don't think they are involved with Lucid, or there is any discussion yet. Maybe they had a side discussion in a public event or something, or some other meeting with the PIF or Saudi Aramco themselves, but nothing official. And I don't think they will in the short period. Yeah. Because they are involved with Saudi Aramco more. Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing that Lucid investors love to speculate.
Yeah.
Apple, like, I was so proud in I think Q3 2023. That was the very first time I think retail did not ask the question, "Are you working with Apple?" First time. And like every single time we have to ask about Apple, it's like, "Are you working with Apple?" I think that's just what Lucid investors love to do.
We love this. I live over these rumors. It's exciting. This is something I love to do. It's more of a hobby, you may say, as well. So
yeah, don't ever invest on rumors, definitely.
Exactly.
Except when that rumor about the PIF taking them private, that caused it to go up a good amount.
Yeah.
January 2023.
Do you want to risk it or not? It's about managing that risk.
Exactly. So just kind of stepping away from Lucid, what's your overall thoughts on EVs? Do you think EV is heading where people originally thought, or do you think what's your thoughts on EVs in general?
Okay, big question.
Very big.
Because I think what's happening now, that's the notion of the market is saying that EV is failing, battery is not the future anymore. But the background, everyone is still investing. Big companies still pushing money, and actually they are doubling down, and that's what concerns me. I've never been very expert in the stock market itself, but I think it will come back stronger than before. And since those major investors who actually can, pave the path of future investment or technology to be used are investing in it. So it will happen. Unless we see, for example, I don't know, the PIF start changing their, strategy and diverting from that, then it will be a major red flag, probably. Yeah. But so far,
one thing go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's going well. So no one. I don't have a change of heart still. I'm still gonna double down, but maybe in the further future.
Yeah, I think one thing I've always really liked about Lucid is their ambition for expansion. Like ever since day one, I loved how they wanted to pretty much take over the world wherever there was a lot of demand. And maybe sometimes I'm too hard on Lucid and their management, but I think they made a very smart decision by not going into China. We see what's happening with Li, with NIO. Even on NIO's last earnings, they said we want to stay in China because there's a lot of competition. It didn't really make sense. And now a lot of those companies are struggling. So I think Lucid was smart to avoid China for right now until they get a lower priced vehicle. But I agree with you. I think EVs, people, it's going to, I think everyone just assumed it was going to be as easily as Tesla to get to those levels. And I feel like it's, I don't know.
I disagree, actually. I completely disagree.
Oh,
I think they
okay.
should go. I think they should go to China, Korea, Japan if they can access that market as well, because what I see today with Lucid, they are not making much money. They're actually they have a negative margin in each car. They do not make a lot of money, and their strategy is basically take it slow, as I see it. And since they have this continuous funding and not selling much, so they should invest adding to their assets and increase, the value of the company as much as they can, since they have the money and they are not selling anyway. So they should go to China, to major cities where rich people are there, basically, or people with good salary are there. They should go to Korea as well, compete and take market share as much as they can. So that would be nice. It will increase the value of the company. So that's the positive thing for me. If they don't sell, they just not selling anyway. So what's the point of staying still?
You might know this. I thought the PIF's bigger plan, I thought they were going to, when February 2023, that's when the rumors started to come out about Aston Martin. And I figured Aston Martin would be the higher tier. Lucid would be somewhat the middle ground, with exception of the Sapphire. And then I think they had, I don't see it on your map, so maybe you know it, but the PIF entered into a agreement with a Chinese company to build a venture for low cost vehicles. That's where maybe I thought the PIF would want into China. Do you know much about? I haven't seen anything on that.
There was a company, I forgot its name.
I think it's just VT Venture.
I don't know. They did. So the reason that so the map is basically the information that I was able to verify. So anything you see in the map is a verified information, or has a lot of lead in it, or a statement from someone with official power, to say that this is actually happening. If they have like a direct statement, I would take that as confirmation, or to be at least, right, to be decided or to be announced. From China perspective, I think, in my belief, right, I think the need of a Chinese investment in Saudi Arabia is to help Lucid, of course, to build the supply chain for Lucid, to start selling them cheaper components. Chinese are interested in investing in the Gulf region and as a whole, and expanding their investments in the region as well, which is a good thing. Yeah. Both the Gulf and China are always in good what they call. So they are always in agreeing on a lot of things in terms of investments. So that's positive. So, but I don't think they will be a major player in the market. as at the same time, I don't like them to start selling cars in the market. EV cars. It's not good. They have a lot of. they can really reach to people faster than any other manufacturer.
Yeah.
They can take reduce costs. They can reduce the prices, take losses. They have an expansionist, strategy, I would say,
Yeah.
in business.
So here's a good segue. So what's your current thoughts on Lucid? So you kind of mentioned what got you into Lucid. What do you like about Lucid right now?
I like that they are still investing. So whatever money they have, they do not. So the idea that they are still investing is telling me personally that they have a plan, or someone is telling them what to do exactly, or they have a plan for the coming 10 years or 20 years, right? But if you as a manufacturer don't invest or don't produce or don't do anything, that means there's something wrong. You don't know what is going on. So I think they have an agreement with the PIF, and it's clear, this is mostly public, that they initiate or unlock the auto manufacturing sector in Saudi Arabia, right? Part of that, they have to do a lot of investment outside in the US or in Europe, or even expand to China if they have to. But at the end of the day, they have to fulfill some aspect of that agreement, which happens between time and time. And we've seen that when Peter received compensations or stocks and other management. So that was part of it. We don't have confirmation, but we have words from different people and stories, let's say. So yeah, that's mostly what I like about Lucid. The other things mostly you've been saying, management. I'm not very keen about them. I think they need more enthusiastic management. They need someone with who is influencer, right? Better personality. Like, good companies, they always have great CEOs, even if they don't know how to run business, but they know how to talk, they know how to bring investor in, at least. So that's what I don't like mostly.
Yeah, I always somehow get like, every time Peter talks during one of the shareholder meetings, I always get like a old car salesman vibe. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's sad. And maybe I'm sometimes too harsh on management, but you said it perfectly. I think you need someone is going to be the face of, they need to sell the product. And he's passionate about technology, but when it comes down to him talking on finances and the future, that's where he starts to stutter. I don't know if people started to catch on, but he stutters and he hesitates when he's talking about the future or operations. When he talks about technology, he's fine.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think he's a good guy. He reminds me of a British company like Aston Martin or a Bentley, who are selling in a classical way because their customer requires this sort of marketing and approach. So this is how he's doing it. He's doing it correctly, but in the wrong place. Let's say that.
So speaking on current events, what is your thoughts on the Gravity? When do you think reservations are going to come out? And what do you think the cause is of the delay? Is it the name, the official name, or what's?
Yeah, are we still calling it the Gravity, or? That's a question.
I don't know. Do you know anything?
I don't know. I've been looking. 2 days ago I was looking into registered trademarks in Saudi Arabia and UAE and other countries, just to pick anything up if there is any change. Did they win? Did they lose the case? That legal case? No, we don't know. But they have a design, and they already distributing those what they call samples or cars in their showrooms. So I think they are good to go, in my opinion. But yeah.
logically, from my limited experience with the patent office, just to get an appointment, I think it's around 6 months. When I was engaged with a stock, they already had that appointment, and it still took them 6 months to have a actual determination. Okay. So I think it'd be better if Lucid starts to think about alternate names right now, even though it sucks because the gravity they've been like, it's been showing the gravity since early 2022 for upcoming vehicles. But or just change it to an E at the end. I don't know, or an I. That'd be weird, but
that's not nice. It will not. Yeah, they need to think something universal. They've been naming earthy names, air, space, gravity. Some people, I've read somewhere that they suggest to call it Pluto or some sort of a star in the sky.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Makes sense. Yeah,
it doesn't
I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like that'd be something. They just need to put it out this year and make sure. I'm gonna complain so much if they don't start production by this year. Like, you guys got your bonuses on time. You guys got that 1 billion issuance of preferred shares, but yet you still don't. Like, they need to make sure that they start on time. But I don't know. What's your thoughts?
It's in the pipeline, by the way, but they might delay the production. I've already put that in my calculation. That's why I'm just staying still. I'm not buying, I'm not selling, just waiting.
So with that said, you said that you got in actually around 25 something. What is your current average with Lucid?
Today is, I think, 10 or 10 and a half. It's been since I took a look. I just put it away on secondary account. It's not bad still, but yeah, I want to add more, but when exactly? That's a question.
Well, I've seen that you posted a lot of technicals, so you've been pretty much pretty accurate with that as well. So I'll wait till you start to see a reversal soon.
I'm not an expert. I'm learning, really. My knowledge is basically something I learned. So I don't advise anyone to follow me. My main objective was to mostly getting feedback from people, just to see what they think. And people do not speak about Lucid that much in terms of technicals, online.
Not as much as they used to, yeah. Yeah, no, I've been one of those. I have been very lucky about timing my averaging down, and so I have an average, I think, of 2 different accounts now, 4 and 350, but no, 380-ish. But still,
very good. You've been active selling and buying.
I've been pretty active with Lucid, doing options quite a lot. Yeah. So what's your thoughts about Lucid's future? Actually, before I get into future, I guess it kind of is future, but have you heard anything about the truck? That no.
I was hoping, because actually what Rivian did with their R3X or R3, right? It was very clever. It's the greatest thing that any company have ever did, really.
Yeah.
In terms of doing SUVs and trucks. I was hoping that Lucid would do something like that in the future, but I don't think they will. I didn't hear anything after those sketches and models posted, I think in end of 2023. Nothing after that. Even yourself, you didn't post anything. So if anything,
no, the only thing I've ever seen was from their 2021 original projections, and that's where they have a 2030 truck. But that's it.
It will be too late, I think. Just too far. Maybe the market will change at that time. No one would like SUVs and trucks. Who knows?
Well, it's EVs are going to be a very interesting. I think in the States they're doing it right. Even though a lot of people don't really like Biden, he's been really pushing EV infrastructure. So I think at least EVs should have a good reason to be around and continue to stay around. I'm not really familiar with European infrastructure. I feel like most people investing in Lucid are either from the Saudi region or maybe from North America exactly. I haven't really heard much context. Like, I know Norway is huge on EVs, but other than that, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know about the infrastructure. I want to say something because so I was hoping that Lucid would do, supercharge stations like Tesla, especially in Saudi Arabia. It's a very fresh market. You cannot buy an EV or travel between cities or go long range, driving, between cities or small cities or villages, just because we don't have the infrastructure available yet. So if you buy an EV, basically you are stuck within your city or going from home to work or, do groceries or whatever you want to do with it. But you cannot drive around with it that much. So if you buy it these days, the people who buy it really, they want to try new technology, or they have, passion for EVs, or they have extra money they want to spend on a luxurious car. That's it. So I was hoping for Lucid to do more with that. It's an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Opportunity for them because demand is there. They are planning to expand in that region. So it's good. It's good to start in the Middle East than in the US. They can do it also in the European market. It will be good for them. And in the US, I think the market started to get saturated a little bit in major cities, at least.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. It's going to be 2 years from now, the EV environment is going to be very competitive. And I think that's one aspect I really like about Lucid is having the PIF behind them. A lot of other EVs, I think Polestar is a good example. Even with Geely, it kind of goes to show it doesn't matter. The market doesn't care how many vehicles you produce. It all comes down to technology and kind of if you're willing to, like, a lot of companies have a good plan. I think NIO and also Polestar are good examples of that. But the market just seems to, like, you need someone to keep it up and to survive. And I think that's one attribute that Lucid definitely does have. And all thanks to the PIF or any affiliate of the PIF. I think they're the only reason why Lucid is where it is right now. So round of applause to anyone listening from the PIF.
Yeah, I hope they invest more and maybe some more clarity about the future of the company. We are really in sort of a gray area right now about the future of the company, especially if the Gravity got delayed by any reason to 2024. It will be a disaster, I think. The stock price will take a very big hit, in my opinion. We might see that $1 for sure.
Well, yeah, I agree. That's the next big thing for any investor to stick around for Lucid is the Gravity. So if they push it back, no investor will want to stay into Lucid knowing just dilution is coming. So
right.
Yeah, they definitely need to put out the Gravity or Pluto or whatever you want to name it. I think sultan.
Yeah.
I should name it after you.
Why not? I'll take it. I'll
Yeah.
give it for free.
Okay, that's worse than the management already. Jeez. So given the future, where do you see Lucid going in the future? Do you think better times are ahead? And so this is, I guess, past 2024.
Just repeat that question. I didn't hear well.
So what's your thoughts on the future after 2024, after the Gravity comes out? So from the Gravity until the mid-sized SUV, what's your thoughts on Lucid? Do you think that what would you want to see your investment with Lucid do? Maybe focus on more partnerships.
So for myself, I have a clear strategy in terms of investment, right? So I want some things to happen in the basic principle. I want to see double numbers in terms of production and sales. So once that happen, I might, double down, for example, of what I have currently. I want to see Lucid as well start beating competitors, right? I want them to take market share. That means they are doing something right. Even if the car is expensive, it doesn't matter. As long as they are taking market share from the other competitors, that means we're going to sell more eventually. But after that, I want to see, production mostly. I want to see production for the coming 8-10 years. I want to see consistent production plan, increasing year after year, regardless of what happens in between from economical issues, recessions, or whatever else. Yeah. And I hope that the PIF stick with them. That's the most important.
Yeah, no, I agree. They are probably the most important, and growth. They definitely need to get their stuff together. Interest rates going down, I think that could really stimulate maybe transitioning or justifying going to an EV, but still, one thing I really like, for instance, about Rivian is the R2, like the price point. Like a lot of those vehicles, it will come down to price point. And I think Lucid does need to strive to get as low cost, and it comes down to just economies of scale. So eventually, once they produce more and more vehicles, that's where they can kind of work towards that lower price. But
right.
Well, what was your face when you heard 9,000 was the 2024?
I posted something before that. I have my forecast. It was spot on already, 9,000. Yeah. So I have my own. Yeah. It's already pinned in my account. So it's been there before their expectation. So it was very spot on. And I expect 500 cars to be produced from the Gravity in 2024. That's the maximum they can do. No way they can do more than that, unless they started production today, right? If they already started production today, they might do more than 500. But I think they will produce more than what they sell in the beginning.
Yeah.
And definitely they should keep going with that.
So actually, I didn't know about that. How did you get 9,000? I was assuming it had to be 25 at least.
9,000
well done.
is just, yeah, thank you.
Basil for CEO.
Yeah, nothing. It's easy to forecast when you know the company, right? What they do, and you attend all this, earning calls, read all the statements, hear from other people. Just very easy, and nothing special happening for Lucid, right? So I forecasted this based on last year, the 2022, looking into 2022 and 2023, the difference and how much car they have already didn't sell. So I thought they don't want to produce more to just close the gap of the amount that they already have from 2023. They want to keep it as low as possible, and they want to focus on investing on the infrastructure they have, expanding their assets. So that's why I went with the 9,000. I thought it was too much at the time.
So not to take up too much more of your time, but you do a lot of cryptic posts on social media, on Twitter or X, I guess. Care to elaborate on anything? Any speculations? Again, don't make any investment decisions on any of this, but any speculations that you assume is coming?
Yeah, not a financial, of course, advice to buy or sell here, but I think this year we will see several things with Lucid, right? First thing, we will see a lot of agreements in the second half of the year from supply chain perspective. We might see something we do not expect more than what we hope for, like cooperation, an actual agreement with SEER, for example, or other company around the world. That's something I've been looking to myself, and I have some outside sources also basically talking to. Nothing official yet, just talking, right? Also, I expect to see from their posted tenders by the government about requesting for installing EV chargers in different cities, right, from all over Saudi Arabia. And this tells me that we will see maybe a pump in sales this year. Maybe the gap between the sale and actually production will be very close this year. And the Saudi market will help. Definitely UAE is opening also, although it is very delayed. I think it's overdue based on what Faisal Sultan said. End of 2023, they expected to open, so they didn't do that yet. But I think it will be a year where we see production meets delivery this year. It will be better result unless the economy does something else we cannot control.
No, I agree. I think there's a lot of opportunity for Lucid to have some partnerships coming. It just, I don't know. And I feel like Lucid does need to do something sooner rather than later. And because technology becomes obsolete. Of course, they have a competitive advantage right now, but if they're just not going to continue to innovate, then because, for instance, what you kind of mentioned, I think a lot of places now are having more stations, charging stations, to eliminate that range anxiety. So does Lucid need to spend as much time on, for instance, the battery? Do you need a 500 plus range? Maybe not. Maybe lower that and kind of boost up the technology, or just lower the cost. Because even in where I live in Canada, which right now EVs aren't that popular compared to the States, for instance, even us, we're having charging stations almost everywhere. So it makes, I don't know.
It's actually growing in the Middle East as a whole. I was yesterday discussing with a friend about different countries, and Egypt, they have so many charging stations, but I don't know what sort of cars they use or buy. Jordan, because electricity is cheaper than gas or petrol for them. UAE here also in the region, they are playing big part. When you drive with your car, you can see like Tesla everywhere. They are doing very well here. I'm not sure if they're growing as they expect with Tesla, but it's everywhere. North Africa as well is starting to pick up the pace as well. So it's a growing market. Our market in the world, they call it an emerging market. So it's always, you invest that much, you get that much bigger than you expect. So we mostly pay. If you don't produce, you pay for it.
Yeah, no. So yeah, was there anything else that you wanted to bring up, Lucid related, or even you said that you started, and is there any other stocks that you're interested in?
From EV from EV side, I only have Lucid really. The other ones that are just day trade or doing other activity with it, but that's.
I know this is. Are you in Lilium?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Lilium, yeah. Especially when there was a fund established in one of the PIF events, right? And this fund, with combination of other companies and other investors, they start investing in Lilium, and they start expanding it as it is. Although I think they have a unique product in the market, and but we will see. Will they be able to produce it? Will it actually succeed? Are we facing any issues in the future with the technology itself? So that's not clear. So, but those prices, today's prices are very good. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, SaudiBay, appreciate you joining. I'm going to have a link to his Twitter or X in the description below. Make sure you guys definitely pop over there, give him a follow. He is one of the most knowledgeable Lucid individuals out there. Tons of good information, and for those of you that watch my channel, I use him quite a lot. He doesn't know it. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But SaudiBay, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll have to see about your projections, see if they come true in 2024, hopefully. Because maybe if your 9,000 prediction was accurate, makes sense.
Yeah, to me at least.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, well, have a good day, and thanks for joining.
Thank you.